from one of these perspectives or conceptualizations, and we're going to study that for a chapter. So next week we'll be going over the psychoanalytic perspective of personality. Now, I left this slide in here, and you guys won't be able to do this, unfortunately, but I'll tell you about a trick that I do with my ground-based students. I have them take a piece of paper, and I have them fold it in half so they have, like 4 boxes, front and back, for which they draw pictures. And I tell them to draw a picture of a house, a tree, a man, and a woman. One in each box. Now, actually, that's a projective test that psychologists use all the time. But, I explain that to them, and then I collect their drawings, and I tell them that I'll return next week, and I will do a personality assessment based on their drawings. What I don't tell them is that I trick them, and I give them a little synopsis of their personality based on their drawings. And I use different fonts and different size fonts, and I hand them out to the class, and I say, now, there's some positive stuff and some negative stuff in these descriptions of your personality, so don't share them with your neighbors. And I have them look at it, and they all kind of look, and some laugh, and some kind of fold it back up. And then I ask them how accurate they think the description of their personality was. It's very similar to that video that I had you watch. Now, what do you think happens? Well, most of the class says that my description of their personality was very accurate. But I gave the same description to the whole class. So basically I trick them. And that's kind of like the horoscopes. And we've kind of established that there's a scientific and a non-scientific study of personality. And sometimes personality psychologists can go a little too far into that other area. And so this becomes a difficult area to study. But how do we actually develop a measure of personality? This guy right here, I don't know if you can see this. I'll zoom in on his picture. This is Chad Johnson, or Ocho Cinco. I guess he was on Dancing with the Stars as well. He's one of my favorite football players. He lives down in this area. He's from Miami. This guy is about as extroverted as I could imagine. How could we create a measure of personality to test extroversion? What could we do? And I've asked you to come up with some ideas on how to do this in your discussion. Well, the easiest way is to use paper and pencil measures. And we could come up with a list of questions that measure traits that are related to extroversion. So we'd want to create questions that are distinct enough from one another that we're not just asking the same question over and over and over again. And we'd want some scaling questions in there. So is somebody really extroverted, or are they just minorly extroverted? Take some time to think for yourself right now some questions that you might want to ask an individual to see if they are extroverted. Now, creating a list of questions isn't enough. What we need to do then is go through a research process, and we need to establish reliability and validity. Now remember, reliability is the same as saying consistency. Validity is the same as saying accuracy. So there's lots of different research methods that we use to determine reliability and validity.